Hi, it's Laura again. And today I'm going to talk about a little bit more about emotion. I want to go a little deeper with it. I think I started to describe this a little bit last time, but I'm going to, again, like I said, I want to talk about also this thing of creating our lives because I believe that we are creators of our own lives and that we have a lot of power that we don't realize we have to create these magnificent lives. But yet, if you look around, most people are living half lives, or we all get so wrapped up in the rat race that we just don't really live these lives that I think there's a part of us know is possible. And I believe that our shut down emotions are one of the reasons why we aren't living more fully, why we don't feel passion, why we don't feel excitement when we get up, why we feel like, for me, it's a lot of life has felt like Groundhog Day. It's like do everything and then go to bed and get up and do it again. And it's just one day after the other of the same old thing. And where is the fun? Where is the passion? Where is the joy and discovery of life? And so I want to talk a little bit about that and how our emotions play into that. Now, I believe we are like magnets, and that what we think about, we attract to us. And our focus has really been and always tends to be on things we don't want. It seems like we tend to be problem solvers. Our minds are problem solvers. And so we tend to, we love the mind and we love solving problems and learning. And we're very uh, focused on knowledge and science. And we really feel like those parts of life are the real things, the tangible, important things, business, making money, um, and all of that. And then the more, we call them the arts, those are more dessert. They're not taken as that serious. If somebody's an artist or somebody is a dancer, a musician, or um, an actor, or doing things that are very creative. So we definitely value the left brain in our society way more than we do the right brain. And I think that is a product of shut down emotion. Because if you think about it, we are all sort of taught as adults that there's this certain path that we need to walk in life. And it is that, we go to school, we learn, we develop our brains, we get smart. Then, if we're lucky, we go to college, and we get a degree, and then we get a job, and then we get married, and we have kids. And there's this whole path that's laid out to us. And the marketing of this is do all of this, and then you'll be happy, right? So we're sort of on this trajectory of trying to find happiness, heading towards happiness. And we encourage our children to do this. Our parents encourage us to do this, our teachers. And so we just all get on this wheel and we move in this direction. And we think, okay, when I get that a house, then I'll be happy. When I get this car, then I'll be happy. If I have those clothes, then I'll be happy. If I make this much money, then I'll be happy. And a lot of people at some point reach a part of their lives where they've done all of that and they just don't feel happy. Every day is a rat race. It's not exciting. And you know, many of us, when we were children, we lived in this magical world. And I know not everybody did, because some people were having a really hard time and being abused and things like that. But for the most part, as little children, if we came into a healthy environment, we got to feel the magic of life. And as we got older, like I said last time, the magic sort of goes away. and we start to become more serious. We can't, play anymore. And so again, we get closed down our emotional body, and we just become these machines that are supposed to follow this path and do what we're told and behave. And to me, it it never felt good. I never did well. I never did well with all of this, and I had to struggle. I did. I have the discipline and the work ethic that I needed to be successful in my career, and I enjoyed it. But did I wake up every morning jumping out of bed, excited for what I was doing? No. Did I work for a great company? Yes. Did I have great colleagues? Yes. But we were all just going through the motions, pulling ourselves up, getting out the door, getting the kids ready, getting everybody to school. And it's like, eventually you're like, is this all there is? Is this what life is about? It reminds me of a story. You probably all have heard this, and I'm sure I'm going to butcher this. So this is just my recollection of the story. But there was a man who was a fisherman, and he lived in a village, and he always fished during the day, and he would catch fish, and he would bring them home and cook them, and he would spend his days out on the beach and in the water and on his boat and just really enjoying life. And one day he was sitting on the beach, and an entrepreneur came up to him and had been admiring him and how well he fished, and started talking about, you really have a lot of talent. Did you know that you could really spread your talent, and you could hire people, and you could get more boats, and you could really take this fishing thing to the next level. You could grow it, and you could have a fleet of ships, and you could fish and really have this big business and make lots of money, and eventually you could sell your company. And the fisherman was listening to the story, and he was thinking about it and trying to figure out quite what would the benefit be. And so he asked the entrepreneur, well, what would the benefit of that be for me? And he goes, well, once you sold your business, you'd have plenty of money, and you could get a place on the beach, and you could just spend your whole day fishing and enjoying yourself and relaxing. And that's kind of what I think we do in life is we just take it so serious, and we're running towards something, but what are we running towards? And how is this relevant to emotion? Well, the way you keep people going in this rat race is to dampen the emotion. So if we take away the passion for life, if we take away, and everybody thinks that we don't naturally feel happy because all of our emotions have been shut down, and therefore we don't feel good. We're anxious, we're depressed, we're feeling uninspired, unmotivated, frustrated, overwhelmed, all of these things that these lives create for us. Then we think, well, it must, there must be something wrong with me. I must need, I just haven't gotten there yet. But instead, if we look at, wow, we were shut down in our emotional being. And so that's what's causing all this pain for us. And if we can start to unravel that and to start to come back alive by releasing all of these pent up emotions from the traumas, we have all suffered so many traumas. And then if you watch TV, if you look at the marketing, everything is based on fear. You can't get older, you can't get fat, everything is like, don't, push against this, push against that, achieve this, achieve that. And there's no place of just being in peace and ease and joy and relaxation. And so I have found that by starting to come back in line with our emotions and starting to release the traumas, because traumas are anchored in us through emotion. If something horrible happened to us, and we felt fear and powerlessness and rage, and that this just wasn't fair, we are taught that that is all true and that those emotions can't be expressed. But what I have found is as we learn to express the anger, express the and touch understand what powerlessness feels like and feel it, as we come back into this emotional being that we are and make friends with it again, we can begin to release this trauma, and this trauma no longer has power over us to control us and take charge of our lives. So that is why I'm convinced that emotion is the key and why I really am focused on emotion. So I just wanted to give a little more clarity on that. And as I go forward, I'm going to start to focus a little bit on the different emotions and how we can feel them. And I'm also going to pepper in different things that I feel are very important. So I think next time, one of the things I really believe is important is how do we become more authentically ourselves? Because we have been taught that who we are is not okay. And a lot of times this comes from growing up. And it's not necessarily from our parents or our teachers on purpose, but they were taught that. And our grandparents were taught this. Our great grandparents were taught this. This has been going on for a very long time, and it just goes down each generation. And until we decide that we are no longer going to buy into this, it will just continue to perpetuate. So, by being authentic, we can start to unravel this and start to begin to free the generations behind us to really be themselves and to make decisions about what they want their lives to be versus following this path that has been laid out for us that everyone just keeps walking. And really, if you ask most people that are living in this rat race if they're happy, most of them are going to say no, but we teach our children to follow in our footsteps and do exactly what we've been doing because that's what a good person does. So thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.